What if I told you that everything you've been taught about sex is wrong? That the impulse of sexual energy, so basic yet so powerful, could be the key to completely transforming your life? Sounds strange, doesn't it? But the truth is, by mastering this energy, you can access a creative force capable of shaping your reality, healing your emotions, and connecting you to the most divine aspects of yourself. Get ready, what you're about to discover may change your life forever. In this video, we're going beyond myths and taboos. You'll understand how sexual energy, when consciously experienced and tapped into its divine power, becomes a portal to spiritual awakening and self-realization. Imagine a life where your relationships are sources of fulfillment, where you master the ability to co-create your future, and where each intimate experience is a sacred act that elevates your vibration. Does that sound distant? I promise you, it's not. It all starts with a small adjustment in how you perceive and use this force. So, before we move forward, make a choice. Are you ready to open your mind and free yourself from the patterns that have kept you limited? If so, stay with me until the end, because in this video, you'll learn how to transform this energy into a resource that transcends the physical and awakens the spiritual. What you're about to hear might just be the beginning of a future where you finally take control of your energy and create a reality truly aligned with your purpose.
Sexual energy is a primordial force that shapes both physical and spiritual life. Far beyond a mere biological drive, it holds the power to transform and elevate human consciousness. In the oldest spiritual traditions, this energy was revered as a bridge between the material and the divine, a creative resource capable of transcending the limits of body and mind. However, in modern society, sexual energy is often reduced to a mere desire or immediate satisfaction, disconnected from its higher potential. This disconnection distances us from one of the greatest sources of personal and spiritual fulfillment. After all, what could change if we understood sex as an expression of divine love and as a path to awakening? Our world is facing a crisis of superficial relationships, fed by social conventions and external expectations that limit the true meeting of souls. When misunderstood, sexual energy can trap us in cycles of dissatisfaction and frustration. This behavior reflects a humanity struggling to balance its deepest desires with its search for connection and meaning. But there is a different path: conscious sexuality. By bringing presence and intention to the act, sex transcends materiality and becomes an energetic dance that nurtures both body and spirit. Think about it. How many times have you felt something essential was missing in your most intimate connections? That void could soon be filled in a transformative way. Within this approach, conscious sexuality is more than a philosophical concept. It is a practice that allows us to understand the divine side of sex and consciousness, transforming the way we interact with ourselves and others. It invites us to observe our emotions and intentions without judgment, allowing each intimate experience to become a portal to self-awareness. In this way, the sexual act stops being merely physical and becomes a sacred act, a manifestation of divine love that connects us to the whole. Now, an important question: are you ready to dive into this knowledge? If you haven't already, leave your like and focus. What we are about to explore can completely transform how you see yourself, your energy, and your relationships. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a powerful metaphor for understanding the stages of human evolution. At the base, we find physiological needs like shelter and food, essential for survival. Moving upward, we reach safety, and on the third level, relationships. Here, millions of people remain stuck, unable to evolve, because their connections lack affection and purpose. Without resolving the conflicts at this stage, it's impossible to advance towards self-actualization and, ultimately, spiritual transcendence. But why are so many stuck on this third level? The answer lies in the current worldview ingrained in humanity. People see themselves as isolated individuals: I am me, and you are you, believing there's no connection between us. They refuse to acknowledge the divine spark within each person. This is how relationships are lived, as social transactions or escape valves, without truly recognizing the other as a divine spark. When sexual practice is reduced to a biological act or momentary pleasure, we lose the opportunity to transform this energy into a creative and spiritual force. It's like trying to play a musical instrument out of tune, producing noise instead of harmony. And this is the central problem. When individuals engage in sexual practice with a selfish view, focusing solely on their own satisfaction, using the other person, exploiting their body, they go against the universe's nature, which is love. As a result, sex becomes a source of addiction and anxiety. They cannot find happiness in relationships and remain trapped at the third level, fixated on it and suffering because of it. Sexual energy, according to Wilhelm Reich and other scholars, is one of the most potent drivers of evolution. It not only creates life, but can also create realities, provided it is connected to love and consciousness. When not used with intention and affection, this energy becomes blocked, causing emotional and spiritual stagnation. Reich called this energetic stasis, which leads to frustrations and neurotic behaviors. To break out of this cycle, we must reformulate how we relate to ourselves and others. Now imagine seeing your partner as an expression of the whole. Sex ceases to be merely physical and becomes an opportunity to experience unconditional love. After all, it's one divine spark uniting with another. It's love that transforms the sexual experience into something that transcends the ego, connecting us to the universe's creative source. In this state, we don't just share energy, we co-create higher realities, liberating ourselves from spiritual comfort zones. Simple practices can help in this transformation. For instance, before an intimate moment, take time to meditate and express gratitude for the divine qualities in your partner. Focus on perceiving the energy that emanates from this connection as a mutual exchange that uplifts both. This evolution is not just individual, but also collective. When we understand that relationships are more than emotional or physical exchanges, we start reflecting this change in all areas of life. A humanity that reaches the self-actualization level can transcend violence, fear, and isolation, moving toward a more connected and creative existence. This begins in the heart of every relationship. The key to overcoming stagnation at the third level of Maslow's hierarchy lies in uniting love and consciousness. It's not just about making love, but living it as an act of divine creation, where every encounter is a celebration of the universe's essence. The role of sex in consciousness development is understanding that the whole created it so beings could experience a glimpse of the joy of unification with it. That's why a life can be created through sex, it's the whole sharing its divine gift with us. When we open ourselves to this possibility, sexual energy becomes a tool for evolution, guiding us to the highest levels of human existence. The energy flowing through us is governed by the same patterns that structure the universe, and this is the fundamental principle for fully exploring the divine side of sex. Seasonal rhythms in nature, lunar cycles, and the very pulse of the cosmos shape not only the external environment, but also the internal cycles of our bodies. These natural rhythms, once honored by ancient civilizations, have been largely ignored by humanity today, creating a disconnection between our essence and the whole. For example, ancient practices like aligning intimacy with lunar phases were seen as ways to amplify energetic and spiritual exchange. But how did these practices vanish from our daily lives? Sexual energy, when integrated with the natural flow of the universe, awakens what many traditions call Kundalini. Represented as a dormant serpent at the base of the spine, Kundalini is a latent force waiting to be activated. When awakened, it travels through the body's energy centers, chakras, promoting expanded consciousness and union with the whole. This activation isn't mystical or unattainable, on the contrary, it's a process that can begin with simple practices like conscious meditation and pranayama. Pranayama, from Sanskrit prana, vital energy, and ayama, control, is a simple practice involving breath mastery to balance the body's energies. A basic example is inhaling deeply, holding the breath for a few seconds, and exhaling slowly. This practice helps release energetic blockages, increase vitality, and prepare the body for deeper connections. Studies show that conscious breathing also regulates emotions and the nervous system, creating an ideal state for awakening Kundalini energy. Beyond breathwork, connecting to seasonal rhythms is crucial. Natural cycles, like the seasons of the year, reflect transformative patterns that resonate within us. Winter invites introspection, spring, renewal. These external changes can serve as maps for aligning our spiritual practices and relationships. So why have we stopped living in sync with these cycles? Could it be a result of the frantic pace imposed by modern society? Another important element is the use of ancient calendars based on natural astronomical cycles. Our true calendar consists of 13 months of 28 days. These divisions harmonized human time with cosmic rhythms. Let me explain. The Gregorian calendar was created in 1582 by Pope Gregory, so we can be sure this wasn't the calendar used by our ancestors. After 1582, we began ignoring these patterns, disconnecting ourselves from natural frequencies and reinforcing the perception of linearity and separation. Ask yourself, why was something so fundamental changed? Were there dark intentions behind this shift? What we can affirm is that it distanced us from our connection to the natural order. Physical and spiritual practices, like the Cobra pose in yoga, help align the body and mind for this reconnection. Feeling the energy flow through the spine and using the mind's power to visualize light ascending and expanding the chakras is not just a spiritual experience, but a path to rediscovering inner balance. These practices, combined with moments of gratitude and deep connection with your partner, can transform sexual activity into a sacred ritual. But here arises a reflection: why have these teachings been so neglected? Was it an accident or part of a deliberate strategy to disconnect us from our creative and spiritual power? If we lived in harmony with this ancestral wisdom and people weren't stuck on the third level, would the challenges of modern life still exist? What stops us today from reclaiming this knowledge and using it to transform our lives and relationships? We've reached the central point of this knowledge. Conscious sexual energy is a powerful portal to spiritual awakening. It connects us not only to our partner, but also to the very essence of the universe. When we recognize the divine spark in every intimate interaction, we transform something mundane into a sacred act, one capable of nurturing the body, expanding the mind, and elevating the soul. This energy is not only creative, but also transformative, allowing us to transcend the emotional and spiritual blockages that keep us stagnant. The steps to this transformation are within everyone's reach. Recognizing the sacred in your partner, aligning with nature's rhythms, and adopting practices like meditation and pranayama are accessible and powerful tools. More than techniques, they are keys to a new level of consciousness. When applied with intention and consistency, they open doors to experiences that transcend the physical dimension, connecting us to the creative flow of the cosmos. Imagine a life where every relationship becomes a source of healing, learning, and expansion. Where the sexual act is not only pleasurable, but also transformative, creating an energetic resonance that shapes your reality. This is the potential within all of us, waiting only for us to choose to access it. The energy we share in our most intimate moments is the same energy that can guide us on our spiritual journey. However, this journey requires courage. Courage to break old patterns, to abandon superficiality, and to make room for depth. It demands a conscious choice to live with more presence, gratitude, and love. And this choice begins now. Ask yourself, how can I transform my next moment of connection into an opportunity to grow, love, and co-create something extraordinary? You are standing before an invitation to transform how you perceive sexual energy and relationships in your life. Try these practices, explore your connection to the divine within yourself and others. You'll discover that true revolution begins within you, and this inner transformation has the power to resonate in every area of your life. The journey is yours. The power is in your hands.